I was introduced, my name's Pixie, and I used to have a studio where I did this, and in person, and then having to convert to Zoom is a trick because I can't see what you're doing. So as a teacher, you kind of pace yourself based on what your students are doing or how well they're doing. So if I see that you're trying to make grass and it's not coming out right, I adjust my my instructions or whatever. So I'm trying to constantly restate what I'm saying, but if I can't see what you're painting, then it's hard for me to judge that. So I'll say, if I can see your paintings, it helps, but I'll say, okay, everybody show me your painting, and then just hold it up like that and just give me so I can check in with you so I can know I am explaining well, if that makes sense, because I can't gauge myself. And if you're a first-time painter, if you've never painted before, like you've seen other people paint and you're like, oh, look at those people know how to paint. The only reason they know how to paint is because they've done it before. That's it. So if you haven't painted before, I'm very excited for you, because even though your hand is doing it and you're watching it happen, it feels like you're just an observer and watching it happen. You're like, what? And it's just, it's like magically you become an observer but participating at the same time. It's a sense of wonder, and it's a great feeling. You get like the bubbles, you know, like you're excited. And if you're nervous that you're gonna mess it up, this is Earth, and on Earth you only learn by doing. Right? You can't learn by watching someone or reading a book. You end up doing it and then figuring it out, right? So if you once you do it, then you say, oh, I get it. So expect yourself to be annoyed and confused. After that, then you understand it. After you do it. So you're like, what is she talking about? And then you do it and you go, oh, I get it. I see. Right? But you have to give yourself that learning curve permission to be like, what is she talking about? Okay? So, and it's that feeling of school where you always feel insecure, and once you become adult, you never ever want to feel that feeling again. But Earth, so too bad. So we're gonna, we have 2 paintbrushes. Basically the entire background is done with the big paintbrush, right? And it comes to a point, but we're not going to care about the point. We're actually going to smash our paintbrush so it's nice and big like that. So I can even show you up close. So if I smash it, it's like, it looks little. If I just did the tip, that'd take all day. So I smash, and now it's a big paintbrush. So I literally fold it over and push my paint like that. And then this one is the teeny tiny one, and she's just for grass. But the same thing will happen to her too. If I hold it like this flat and I smash it, it's going to be a humongous piece of grass all the way up, right? So I can't do that. Instead, I hold the paintbrush upside down like I'm painting with the side of the paintbrush, and I pull it up like that. I pull the paint instead of push. So that's just 2 different things, and then all the rest is just watch it happen. Okay? So we're going to get our great big giant paintbrush, and it's all huge and fluffy, and we need our white paint. So we just open our white paint. And does your paint have white lids on them? Those are the easiest to close. The ones with little plastic tops are hard to close. You have to kind of, they're really tricky. So trying to save our paint, we're like, throw them away. Okay, so we're going to get our this is what our painting looks like, right? And if I hold it like this, you can see that this line is for the sky, right? And this must be the wavy line of the water, and this must be just the little whoop, whoop, right there for the grass. So that's like 2 little humps of grass. And then these are pointing down for this shadow to show that it points into this corner. We're going to paint over those lines, so we don't care about them. They're just literally, it helps your brain, and your brain will stare at those lines and be like, oh yeah, this is where that goes. So it's just for your brain. Okay, so we're gonna get our big cup of white paint, and we're gonna do the sand first down here. Look, I got a scratch on mine. So I'm gonna get the white paint, and we're gonna paint the whole bottom part. So we're gonna be underneath this line. Whoop.
What line? I can't see the line.
Oh, because it's is it on yours?
Oh, there.
Yeah.
Under this line.
Under this line, the little hook one, whoop whoop, because the glare, it's my beauty light. it makes a glare. So whoop, whoop, under that little thing. And then we'll go all the way to the bottom. And when you get to the bottom, you might have to lift it up to get a little closer to the bottom. Okay, so we're gonna get our white paint and we just stab our paint like we're mad. Because we could get a whole bunch of paint because we're just gonna push it around underneath here. But we're gonna outline underneath this line. And remember, we're painting over it, so it's not like technical, right? But if I get a whole bunch of paint like that, a whole bunch, I'm actually gonna go under the line and it's white on white, which is gonna be really hard to see. But I go like this and I put my paintbrush under the line. Can you see it? Oh, barely in that shadow, in the shadow. But I put my paintbrush under it and then I push and I don't wiggle and my one hair of the paintbrush will make the outline. And it's gonna be, and we can tell that I painted it because it's shiny. That's the only way we can tell that I painted it, because it's white on white. So I just get more paint, stop! And then I go, smash, and go under that one, smash, and push my paint, like that. And we don't care about the pencil, it's a guide, we're painting over it. It's not precious. And it will start off really slow because you're going to be like really careful. But once we start painting, your brain will be like, oh, I get it. Okay, we're painting a little bit. But you start off slow because your brain goes, wait a minute. Like that. Okay, now we're going to paint. And just to fill it in, like we're painting a wall, but we don't need it to be, look how lumpy mine is. Can you see that drip? We don't care. It'll be a bright spot. Who cares? I'm going to get more paint and just get a huge, disgusting amount of paint and just go side to side, pushing stuff. We don't want to go up and down because horizontal lines represent the ground. And now I'm just going to get it sopping wet with white paint. Blah, 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 blah. Sound effects are included. Little. Sopping wet, and I can tell that I painted it all because it's all shiny. Oh, down here it's all dry. I'm looking for that reflection to make sure. Yeah, got it. Because it's white on white, totally hard to see with my glamour light. Hey Chris, is that the Notre Dame game? Is that the Notre Dame game?
It is.
It is, and my husband's watching it too.
Oh no, I'm watching the Clemson.
Oh, okay. Clemson.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm flipping back. I'm flipping back.
Back
and forth.
all right.
It's hard to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
You want me to turn it off? Is it distracting you?
No, I thought it was the same game.
Go Notre Dame.
A whole bunch of boys got sick. It was scary, but they're better now.
Penny.
Okay, did we get it soft and wet? Okay, now we're going to get the caramely color. The one that looks like caramel sauce.
Did you go all the way to the end with the white?
Yep, I fell off the page and off the page, all the way to the bottom, and you can paint the cardboard. The cardboard can handle it. Across the bottom.
Wait, is it caramel or butterscotch?
Both. Oh, I see what you mean. There's a more yellow one, not the yellow one. Let me show you. There's a yellow one for making grass and a caramel one. We want the more brownish one, the caramely one.
Butterscotch.
This one, yeah. Yes.
It's butterscotch.
And this one, she's more in the yellow family. So we want the butterscotchy one. She's going to make sand. Okay, and then we're going to make the color on the canvas, right? So the goal is, hopefully, cross our fingers, we get a variation of color. So it's not going to be a version. We get dark areas, medium areas, light areas, right? Dark, medium, light. It's to get 3D. Otherwise, it's just you put it in a blender and it's caramel macchiato, like just, right? We would like it to be a variation of color. So I'm just going to get a poke of the caramely color. Butterscotch, I like your word better. But I just go poke, and it's just a sum on the end. not all hard like I did when I got the white. That was a lot of paint. Now it's just a poke, like that. And we're just gonna drop it off all over the white, like little polka dots, like he's got a disease. So where I landed with the first spot I landed is a lot of paint. It's nice and thick right there. That'll be a dark area, right? Where I landed where it's thin will be a light area, right? So if I just go off the just smooth like this, it'll make variations of color. But if I touch it too much, then I don't get interesting color variations. It's just one color. So I just go off the page and I just fold my paintbrush over so it opens, and I just go and then right here, and then the row underneath that, like I'm vacuuming or mowing the lawn, off the page to off the page to off the page to off the page. Oh, I got the bottom of mine was thin, so it dried already. I'm just gonna get a little bit of white until it's calmed down. There. If it feels sticky, it just wants more white paint. Now I have a variation of color, and it's interesting to look at. We just go, interesting, and just watch it happen. But too many touches and you just get sand. I mean, we want sand, but you just get that blended caramel macchiato, one solid color. We like the variations of color. So watch, if I scrub like this in one spot, it just becomes one version of sand, right? Or if I went like that and just pull the paint, they'll stripe each other. The two colors still are blended, but there's a variation. Okay, now we need to find our bluish gray color. It's not quite turquoise because there's no green in it, but it's blue and gray, and it's my shadow color. It's the shadow of the grass. Right, this color right here. So there she is. So this is literally gray and blue mixed together. I just mixed gray and blue together and give you a little something, but it's all we need. And it's the shadow, and we pretend the sun is over here, so the shadows are leaning towards this window. Corner. So I'm just gonna get, and my paintbrush is a little bit pointy, right? And I don't need very much. I just kind of give it a poke. Right, and I just go poke, get some on the end, and I'm probably gonna have to go back and get more than this, right? Let me go like that. There, it's just a little bit, and I'm gonna go right along where the grass should be, because shouldn't the grass be sitting in its own shadow? So I'm on the sand, because I'm gonna make dirty sand color, and I just go bleh. Oh, look at, I barely got any. That was a tiny, tiny poke. Need another poke. Just put, and then. I'm going to mush that in. It's going to make it like a darker sand color. Look at right there where I missed. There. Now can we yank on them? And look at mine. They're different lengths, right? Because they represent different pieces of grass. Okay, let's say it was supposed to be different lengths. But when you look at mine, didn't they all end up the same length and you didn't even notice? Whatever. It'll come out how it comes out. Now let's pull on that color and make pieces of grass, right? It's shadow, but we're pulling it at an angle into this corner. And then if I put one, well then all the other ones are parallel to that one. And I just go, oh, you humans are going to make them evenly spaced apart, because that's what humans do. So try to go long, short, medium, medium. But I'm yanking that paint down. Long, short, medium, medium, long, short, medium, medium, long, short. Like that. And I have a fan right on me to keep me cool, and it's blowing on my painting, so it's drying it. Look at mine. It looks terrible. It's all dry. So if I want more paint, I'm actually going to get some more white as my water. And I could just put it right on top of that, just to be my water. Now I'm just gonna pull it and try to pull it off the page and just and they're all parallel, they're all leaning the same direction from each other. A little bit of shadow. Mine came out as a blobule instead of stripes because my paint is completely dry because I have a fan on me. Let me see if I can stretch them a little bit. There. And what you don't know about white paint is floats, the pigment floats in a white gel that turns clear like Elmer's glue. So you paint it and you see I put white paint on it and you're like, oh my gosh, you ruined it. I know because I've painted before that most of that's going to disappear and you're going to be able to see the paint underneath it because most of that is white gel. You know when you go to Home Depot and open the can and they're going to put color in it and it's white? Then you add the color. Well, that white gel turns clear like Elmer's glue. It just helps spread the color on the wall. Okay, so that's what we did. We did the shadow. Now we need to clean it. We got blue on it, right? I don't want blue on it. So we have to lick it off. No, I'm just kidding. So you get a paper towel and you just give it a pinch. And we don't rub it like this side to side. It sticks her hairs out. So we just put it in there and go, squeeze the paint out really hard. All clean. Like that. Because really the white paint that was deeper in it squeezes like a toothpaste tube and pushes the blue out because there wasn't very much. Now we can do the sand in the back. So because we did the sand in the front, won't it be easy to do the sand in the back? Because we've done it once. And our brain's like, oh, I already know what's going to happen. We're going to get it wet with white, add the butterscotch color, and then blend it in. Yeah. Because how do we learn on Earth? We learn by doing, right? If you're going to learn how to weld, you watch a guy for one day. And then what do they do after that? Make you do it till you do it perfect. 6 weeks later, right? So I don't know how to do it. Well, after you do it, you will know. Earth is a big giant setup, right? So now I'm going to get my white paint again. But where do we go to? Now I'm going up to this wavy line in the shadow. See if you can see it in the shadow. But the wavy line is the ocean. So I'm going to go from this funky little line all the way up to the water. I'm going to get it soaking wet with white paint. And now you're not scared. How much paint did you put last time? Did you feel like you put enough? If you felt like you didn't put enough, put a little bit more. We never get mad. We just do better. So I get my white paint and I just stab my white paint like I'm mad. Stab! And I just go underneath the ziggy-zaggy line. Uh-oh. Chippy, being aggressive. And I just go, smash. And then halfway I run out of paint. Stab! More paint. And I push my paint. Push my paint. There. But what if you get some white on that blue part? So we're putting grass in front of it later so you can get paint on that. We don't care. We don't care. All the way. And so there shouldn't be like a dry space between the blue part and the new sand part because sand is sand. Let's see where I missed. Obviously, I have parts that are not shining. Ugh. More paint. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. And will this be easier than last time? Of course, because we've done it. And then if you're going back and trying to make it perfectly smooth, it's not a wall, right? If you have a lump of white, what will happen? It'll be a bright spot. Yeah. You can even give it permission to have a white spot. Oops, another drip. I was aggressive with my paint. Okay, now I get my butterscotch color, right? Because I get to make more sand. So do you want to use, did you feel like you had enough sand color or do you want to get more sand color this time? You can adjust. Like I was way too delicate last time. I want mine darker this time. Or no, I like, you know, you decide. So I get a poke, just a poke of my caramel color, and then I just drop it off. Pokey, 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 pokey. Maybe 2 pokes. I don't know. Then how come I drop it off like that? Because if I start blending it with the little glob on the bottom, it'll be very dark and the rest will be very light, right? So I drop it off. So now I root for 3D, dark areas, medium areas, light areas. Okay, now you already know what to do. You don't even need me. We just smash it in and see what happens. Smash. Do I want to touch it too much? No, because it'll just become a color, and I like that neato variation of color I get when I'm just very quick. Oh, and I fall off the edges. I fall off the edge of the painting. Flick, flick. There, and then stop. Because too many touches and it just becomes a color. So now that feeling of wonder kicks in, because the first part we were like, what is she talking about? And now we're doing the second time of doing sand. And now we go, ooh, look what's happening. And that sense of wonder and curiosity comes. That you're an observer and you're just watching it happen. Even though it's your hand, you're like, ooh, I like that. If everything was perfect all the time, we could never have wonder and awe, right? So like the contrast is what makes us wonder about that. Okay, now who thinks theirs came out good? Thumbs up if you like yours. Did you get some good shades? Did different versions of color? And you're like, oh, I have a pure white part, right? Or, ooh, I have a super dark part, but it's not one color. And then, do they match right here? Right here, do they touch? You know where the 2 colors of sand meet? Is there a little white spot between them? Or do you know, your little dirty paintbrush can just make sure they're attached right there. So they cross over each other a little bit. It's the same color, so. Look, I put almost no sand color up here by my water. Whatever. First time for everything. Do I care? No. It'll come out how it comes out. You wouldn't even notice, right? Okay, now I'm going to clean my paintbrush. Not because I don't like the color. It's because I want to go make sky, and I don't want any sand in my sky. So I have to lick it off. Not really. I just give it a squirt. It's going to go. See? And it's just enough, and there was enough white paint deep inside the paintbrush. When I do that, it pushes all the darker color out. Usually when you use water, if you really need to rinse your paintbrushes, you're gonna, you know the color wheel? If you go across the color wheel, like red is the opposite of green, that will make brown. So you always have to wash your paintbrush, right? But if you're anywhere near on the color wheel, you usually don't have to wash your paintbrush. Like if something in the yellows and the oranges and the reds, they won't hurt each other and make any gross colors. Okay, now we get to make sky. So if we look, doesn't the sky make sense now? Like, how much you want to bet you know it's going to happen? So if I get white paint and put the baby blue color on that and streak it, won't it make won't it make that sky? And then I blended mine too much and I wanted some wispy clouds. So I put some blobs of white and then I just went and made sure I had some white wispy cloud, right? So I just go, all right, well, I did it on the sand, and I did it 2 times already, so I could probably do that. So I get the white paint, and now I'm going to paint above this pencil line all the way up to, I could fall off the painting at the top and off the sides. And how much paint? A lot. So I just stab my paint and go, oh, like I'm mad, and a whole big blob comes on there, but I don't care, because I just push it around. And I'm going to go above that line. It's just like, for my brain, I like an outline so I know where to stop. but I go above the pencil line and open my paintbrush, smash, and let one hair ride that pencil. Oops, I missed. Oh man, getting a giant goobery drip there. Blech. Mine had a little sand in it still, but blue is way darker than that sand color, so it will get erased. I'm not worried. And then what happens? We just get it sopping wet above that line. Stab. Push and shove and push and shove and push and shove and push and shove. So we've only had acrylic paint like 40 years, and we don't actually know how long these colors will last because this paint actually is water-based, so it evaporates, right? But if anyone remembers growing up where you had to clear the house with oil painting a room and it stinks up everything and you use turpentine or gasoline to clean it up, it's a mess, right? Well, this is, you know when you leave plastic toys outside and the plastic color fades? So we don't know how long acrylic paintings will last. So if you're going to invest in art, you find the oil artist, or you put a UV glass in front of an acrylic painting that you spent a lot of money on. Otherwise, who cares? And that way the colors won't fade because we don't know. So now we're going to put the blue in it. Blue. But this is the, oh, where'd you go? The baby blue color. Baby blue. And you don't want to use a whole bunch because it's supposed to be daytime, not nighttime. So just some, right? Because I've seen people like, I want to use all this blue. They're like, okay. The reason why I have to give you more than we'll actually use is because I worry it will dry out. And then you can decorate rocks tomorrow with the extra. Okay, so I'm going to get blue and I just go poke. And I'm going to drop it off. Maybe I'm going to do taupe and I just went like that much. And I'm just going to go poke it, 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 poke it. And maybe, because that's where I first landed. It's going to be my darkest spot. So if I get a second poke, a little poke, maybe I'll start here, so this will be a dark spot, poke, right? And then I run out as I run away. I give it permission to run out of paint. And now we smush it in, right? What's gonna happen? Smush it in. So I'm rooting for those variations of color, 3 colors for 3D, dark, medium, light. I just go off the page and I open my paintbrush real big, smash. Ooh, coolio. Off the page to off the page. I fall off the page and fall off the page and fall off the page. And then I always end up touching it too much because it's fun and it's hard to stop. But I can always add a cloud, right? I don't want to look at that pencil either. Buy a pencil. Get out of here. Okay. Look at that blue stripe right there. That came out a little dark. Well, if I touch it just a little bit more, you know, I'm going to tell that block to calm down. I'm just going to touch it a little more. And it's kind of there. I just wanted to break up that. See how it literally became a baby blue? Boring. But I didn't like that. I had one perfect blue stripe. That's not sky. But a nice variation of color is interesting. Look at me, I'm still touching it. Stop touching it. Okay, sorry. Oh, there's a little part that's still white. Got it. Pretty.
Hey, yeah, here's a question. Will you zoom in on yours? Mine doesn't. I did something wrong. Will you zoom in on your clouds, please? I'm sorry. Is mine supposed? All right. I just want to make sure mine's supposed to look the way it looks. Okay.
It can look at how the sand was. It's almost the same, right? Variations of color. So it's not of one color. That's what we're rooting for. And remember how it darkens when it dries. Why will it darken when it dries? Because the white paint, most of it turns clear like Elmer's glue and just leaves the color behind. So like, oh, mine is way lighter than hers. Wait till it dries. So how about some clouds? Right? What if I get a poke of white? I'm just going to get a poke. And I just give it a stab, poke. Oh, watch out for putting them like dashes like in a row. No, clouds don't go in a row. They kind of go one up high, one in the middle. And they're perfectly straight and flat. How come? Because of wind, right? They don't go diagonal. And then maybe there and there. I don't know. But, oh, look. See? I still did it. Those are in a row and those are in a row. It's my human brain. Human brain. And how much you want to bet they're evenly spaced apart? Human brain. They're exactly they're exactly the same width apart. Human. Nature doesn't do that, does it? Humans do. Every time they do a satellite image of an area on the earth and anything's evenly spaced apart, they go there. There's buildings. We do that. Okay, now let's try to make clouds out of them, but I'm going to go past them. I want white to live, but I don't go, and stop. That'll make a little edge to it. I kind of go past them and go whoosh, but I just go round, and that way the edges are blurry edges. Past it the other way, and past it that way. And I'm not doing it hard. There, look at those are in dash, whatever. I told you not to do it, and then I did it, because I know what humans do. And then if I go past them, I start in front of them and past them, both edges will be blurry, and they won't be like little boxes. You want to have a start and a stop area, I go round and stretch it on both sides.
Light up there?
Question? Is it dry?
Yeah.
Yeah, more white paint. White paint is your friend. I could treat it like your water. You could put lots of white paint. White paint is basically just gel. And you're like, oh, I don't like how it's all dry. Let's put a little bit of white. Blah, 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 blah.
I don't realize you are.
Oh, you want to show me? You can pick up your painting and just like show me your painting if you want. But I would just say be aggressive with the paint, because it's not water paint. I mean, it's not watercolor, right? It's just we're slopping the paint on and it's almost lumpy. It's so thick.
Okay, how do I fix this hot mess on the bottom in my sand?
Oh, put some white on it like this. Get a poke, right? Pretend like they're clouds and put little cloud highlights. And then you see how they're all the same thicknesses and straight. Just go in between them like, I ruined you and ruined you and ruined you and blah, blah, blah. Put some variation of color on it and break them up a little bit.
No, she was asking, how do you fix this hot mess?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's not fixable. Sorry.
I kid.
Did it break it up a little bit? Because did they turn into perfectly little blue stripes? And just trying to like break them up. Long, short, medium, small, tiny, little, big, small, medium, bar.
It's helping.
Okay, good. And then don't put too much on, but we know that the white will mostly turn. I want to paint over it so it's goodbye.
Yeah.
Should I go back over here and do some blue like in the top parts like this? Yeah.
Yes, you can even, Chris, you can paint over that white and start over. Because parts of it are still wet, and just put the white on it. Yes, that's perfect. And just put the white on the sky and do it over, and watch the second time you do it. The first time was just for practice. Second time is like, oh, I see. Just put more paint. Get a huge amount of paint. Look at all that paint we have left, right? Stab, blah, 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 blah. And then put the blue dots, and then put the clouds and see what happens. And then because if it feels sticky, not enough paint. If it feels really slippery, that's how we like it.
She's got like the edge.
Did you put lots and lots of paint on there, Chris? Lots of white paint. Blah, blah, blah.
I'm putting a lot of white paint on right now.
I'll pour the
Yeah.
whole thing on there.
We're just going to have a 3-minute pause.
Alright, now you just do my. I think that's
And no pressure, because if we were in a regular class, if you were at my studio, this happened. We would just pause and
See, that's all dry.
because I wasn't there to see that you weren't putting enough paint, so it's a struggle for me to help support you too.
Well, the other instructor, she's here. She's here.
She's the support staff.
Yeah.
And then just get it like a whole lumpy white on the corners. And if you look and it's not shiny, you don't have paint on it.
I can see basically I can see all like the little cracks in it, like the little holes, like the little loose from the canvas.
Yeah, put more paint on that. Get a disgusting amount of paint and then smash and get it completely wet.
Well, Brett told me not to use a bunch of paint.
What? Never listen to people when they don't know what they're talking about.
I just realized I used the more yellow color on my top sand and the butterscotch on my bottom sand. So do I leave it and just?
I would leave it and declare it that's how you wanted to do it. Because look, you can't. Maybe the sun is glistening on the back of it. I don't know. I'm not there.
Okay.
I've never seen this beach before. I've never been there. Right? This is in the shadow, so it's darker, and this has sunshine in the back.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
And then, Chris, did you put the little blue? And then go smear. And then now it's coming out better?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now you're the observer. Now you watch it appear and you're like, oh, look at what it's doing. And you're getting variations of color, not too many touches because that just makes a color.
As you can see, my body part moving
Yeah.
back and forth right now. All right.
Work it. Because next we get to do the water.
I think I just pulled a muscle doing it. Hold on.
What?
All right, go ahead and do it. I don't want to say something and finish myself.
It's another reason why I don't drink too, because everything has an innuendo and I can't. Okay, now we get to make water, right? So if we look at the water, the hardest part is to make a horizon line that's usually, because of gravity, it's nice and flat, right? So, but you'll notice mine got a little wavy and you didn't even care. Did you care? No, you didn't even notice, right? And because you're human and you were born human, it's your parents' fault because they were human, is you will not be able to do a perfectly straight line without a tool, without a ruler or something. So we get straight-ish, right? So, and that should be good enough. But the water is actually on top of the sky a little bit, right? There's no space between them. So I put the water on top of the sky a little bit. And I hate the bottom of my water anyway. It's a little dry and fuzzy, you know? It's like, that's an ugly. So I'm gonna paint over it. So now I get my blue. It's the baby blue color. Blue. And then we didn't really have to practice outlining except for this moment right now. So now we're gonna outline. Remember the thing where you you get the paint and then you smash your paintbrush and it goes boop, and then you stare at one hair and push your paintbrush, and that one hair is doing what we care about. The whole rest of the paintbrush don't care. So we push. So we're actually the first time gonna keep this line and care about it. So and I need a lot of paint because I have far to go. But no matter what, you're gonna run out at halfway. I like to go all the way across and practice a good straight line and then just get more paint and keep making it straight. But watch out because you'll start climbing into your sky higher and higher and higher trying to fix it. So just know, oh yeah, human brain, human hand. It's gonna be a little crookedy. So I stab my blue paint so that when I get my paintbrush and I smash my paintbrush, she'll open and I'm on top of the sky a little bit. Smash! But now I'm going to stare at that one hair at the top, and she's trying to make a straight line. I don't care about the bottom line. Look, I'm already running out of paint. Halfway. And then I get more blue. Stop! So I can pick up a big globule. But I'm going to go underneath it and go smash, and then try to sneak up to where I started. Okay, now they're touching. Now I can go again. Oh, look at me wavy. The farther I get away, the more wavy it is. I don't care. There. And then the first time I do it slow, but now that it's slippery, will I be able to smooth that out and straighten it? But I have to get the paint on there first so it will be smooth. The texture when it's all dry is all scratchety. It's no good. So now that it's wet, now I can go back and smash my paintbrush and smooth it. Oh, okay, I gotta stand in front of my painting. I'm doing it at an angle and it's not working. Okay, not enough paint on the end. That's what's wrong. It's too dry over here. It's not slippery. Okay, there. Now it will work. Watch. Slippery. I'm staring at that one here at the top. Fell off the page. And it's a little bit wavy at the top, but I don't care. Because it's a tidal wave coming. I don't know. It's 2020. Who knows what it could be. Question, Kevin? No? Okay. Do you feel like you got a good straight-ish line? A human straight line, right? Too perfect and we go, oh, made in China from a machine. Printer, right? We like the humanness of it a little bit. Okay, now I'm gonna put one more paintbrushness. I overlap them like I'm mowing the lawn or vacuuming, and another row of blue. Well. All right, so I just go, stab, more blue. Yeah, but the second time is easier because I don't have to worry about a straight line. So just get more paint, slippery. Now I have two rows of blue. And we don't have to be perfect about it. Remember how we're gonna blendy and make all those turquoise colors? So we're just getting the painting wet. We're gonna go and fix it with all the colors and the turquoise and all that stuff. So, but we have to throw down that paint. And because this is acrylic and it dries so fast, we don't dilly-dally. If it was oil paint, 5 days to dry. Look. And it stinks. Okay, now what comes next? Green. Is it green? That dark green color. And I'm going to put a little bit of that dark green on my blue and see if it starts to change. Blue and dark green. So not baby green. No, not the baby green. It's the super dark green that almost looks like black. She makes turquoise. She dries almost black. When I put it like it's dripping down the side of the bottle, and I'm like, what color is that? It dries so dark. And now I'm gonna, and there's blue in my paintbrush. Do I care? No, I'm about to make a turquoise color in my paintbrush too. So I just stop my green, and then go right on top. And, I was just under it, but I'm overlapping it a little bit. Smushy, smashy, smushy, smashy. And I'm smashing my paintbrush. How come? Because it's a way of, I know how big these paintbrushes are. So I'm also measuring in my head for how far down your water you've gotten. So it's 3 rows of a big paintbrush. So it's about as wide as my hand, right? So if you're not pushing hard with your paintbrush, it's going to be little, right? So smash that paintbrush, right? So I smash it all the way because I know that it's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches when I go smash. So now I have like that.
Can you show us the 2 blues? Which one we're supposed to use, or greens?
The greens, there's
It's hard to tell which one is
baby green, and we don't want that one. Dark green, she's super dark.
3 greens.
3 greens? Oh, I gave you guys, I forgot about that foresty green. I didn't get myself that foresty green. You guys have foresty green. I have to go get myself that color. So it's super, super dark green. Look at that color, looks terrible on TV.
I use the
Looks like
forest
black.
green too. There's a puke green, like baby puke green, like, you know, diaper green.
Yeah, not diaper green. Super
Diaper
dark.
green?
Super.
Okay.
It looks black.
We don't have that. Ours is more of a forest, like a hunter green.
But there isn't a super dark green, almost like black.
No, not almost black. It's like,
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
but that's what we use. This is how it came out.
Well, it's ish. I think that's the right color. It's hard to tell in the TV. Okay, now we're gonna get white.
We're going with it.
Yeah, just going with it.
We'll move it.
Okay, now I get white, and this is when I ruin my white forever, right? Because now I can't make sand because I'm about to ruin my white. But I just stab my white. It's a big globule of white. But what's in my paintbrush right now? Blue's in my paintbrush, green's in my paintbrush, and now white. It's gonna make turquoise. So now I just go below that one, and it will make turquoise. Oh, that wasn't enough. I need more white. Slippery. Ooh, look how close I am to the pencil line. Woo! Smash that paintbrush. Okay, now we're gonna do a blend. So even if you're busy, everybody pause and look up. I'm rushing you because I worry about it being dry. So everybody watch, everybody watch. I'm going to let this white go climbing, 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 higher, higher, and I'm gonna run out of white by the time I get to the top. And you're like, what? So I go like this, I start at the bottom of the white and that I just put on, and I go right off the page, and off the page, and off the page, and higher, 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 and they all overlap like this. No spaces in between. So everybody watch, I'll show you. And this white is, I'm not going into the sky, right? I go slow down when I get to the top, but I go off the page, to off the page, to off the page. Oh, I'm putting white in my green, which means I'm also picking up green. I'm dropping off higher and higher into my blue. Now I'm making bluish green, and I'm making tiny jumps, only like 1/4 of an inch each time. I'm going higher and wiping off the blue and the green inside the blue and the white, and then I run out of paint, and I get to the top, and I'm slowing down, and I get to the top, and I'm completely out of white, and I cannot go back down and get more white. How come? Super dark blue is in my paintbrush. But we're pushing like this. You can't go like this. You can't go dash, dash. You can't pick up your paintbrush like this. No dash, dash, because I'm trying to wipe off what's in my paintbrush inside that next color and inside that next layer of color. I'm using the pressure of crushing the paint into the paintbrush to create new colors as I climb higher and higher with each brush stroke up. And so I'm wiping off the white that's in my paintbrush a little bit higher each time, and I'm wiping it off, and I run out of white paint at the top. So were you the observer? Did you get to watch that happen? And it's curious, and you're just like, look at it change. It's happening. You want to do it again? Because now we have to go down to the wavy line, right? So I'm going to get more white paint. So this is the shoreline, right? This is a wave we put on after, so to ignore that. But we're going to go all the way down to that pencil line. But what's in my paintbrush? Turquoise, but dark turquoise, because I stopped up here in this dark blue with the green and everything. But if I stab and get more white paint, it'll be like a baby turquoise. So I got my white paint, and I'm gonna, why do I have to stab my paint? I need a lot, because I have far to go. And I just go, stop! What? but I have the color in my paintbrush. And now I'm just gonna ride the roller coaster of that pencil, up, down, up, down, up, down. Maybe back and forth, back and forth. Whoops, I dripped on myself. And you could go back and forth, off the page that way, off the page that way. And then this is a prettier baby turquoise, right? Because it has so much white and blue in it, because the last color we stopped was blue, so it has more blue in it. But this edge is a little harsh, where the green and this baby blue meet. Maybe with just the paint that's left on my paintbrush, it's just like powder. It's almost no paint left. I'm gonna gently, right where they meet, right where turquoise and the blue meet, right there, I'm just gonna gently go calm down a little bit, and it will make the edge not so hard. Oh, I just made it harsher again. Okay, calm down. Okay, there. I just made it slightly softer. Because I just, with no paint on my paintbrush, I just kind of, I don't get extra. I just tell it to calm down there where they touch. Beck, I can see you're painting, and you just need to use a lot of paint, and just go push, pull all the way down to that pencil line. And then make sure you go like this and go higher, 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 and wipe off the color inside the blue. I think you left, Beck, when we were doing that blendy part. Who feels like that came out better than you expected? Did you have a little bit of wonder and curiosity while it was happening? You're like, oh, look what's it's changing. It's doing something. It's blending. And does it look like a flag? Can you see blue, green, turquoise? Or did you climb up little by little by little by little so there's no distinctive line?
I think we're looking pretty good over here.
Nice.
She won't let me show it though.
No, it's not a requirement.
Molo Russo's here. You gotta be Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai.
Show it. Be brave.
Oh. Oh, it's pretty. Yeah. Oh, I like your sky. I like the variation of the colors. What? Luckily it comes out, but don't get excited.
You did it, Brett.
Good job. Okay, now we're ready to do our little wave, right? So the wave is so when you paint, you either paint for color, dark, medium, light, or you paint for texture, right? So the wave actually it's white. So it's the only thing that makes it special is its texture. Okay, so we're gonna drop it off first, with like little dots of paint, and then we go back with our finger because you're human, and you're gonna put them evenly spaced apart, You're human. So then we go back and just kind of ruin it with our finger and kind of mush it to try to ruin the pattern. Not to make circle dots everywhere. We just want to ruin the pattern of the wave. Does that make sense? Because when you drop off the paint, you go circle, 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 circle. It looks ridiculous. The other part is you give it permission to have, this is a lump right here. You can't see it, but it's so thick it's a lump. I leave it texture, right? And it's super bright white. And then as I'm going poke, 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 I run out of paint, right? Just like when we were doing the sky. And I give it permission to get thinner. And then I get more paint. So it'll be super thick. Thick, 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 thick. Then I run out of paint. That's how I go bright to not bright, bright to not bright, is running out of paint. Thick, right. And, oops. And I'm going to switch paintbrushes. Because this one is too big. So I could get this one. And I just need the little top, and my white paint. And I want it white. So remember when we ruined our paintbrush and we stuck our dirty paintbrush in the paint? Isn't there a corner that's still perfectly white? Go find that corner. And I just go, oh yeah, because I don't want it the blue. I just go in this corner and I go scoop. I get a little pearl on the end. And you see this wave down here? It's got a little wave to it. How about if we just go parallel to that up here? And it's 2 fingers higher-ish. Does it have to be perfectly parallel? No, it's a wave in the ocean. But I just drop it off like little pearls. Let me try again. I was holding it funny and all the paint moved from the tip of my paintbrush. There. And I just go, book. That's gonna be super thick right there. And then next to that, next to that, next to that, and it starts to run out of paint, run out of paint. It looks like I have a lot of paint on there, but not on the tip of my paintbrush. So then I get more stuff, and then it will start off really thick, and then it gets less, running out. Oh, now I have to dip down. I wasn't following. My little parallel. More paint! And then this little one will be really thick, because when I start, and then I up, and now I'm climbing the hill, up, and then I ran out of paint. So it's super thick where I start, and then I start running out of paint. I just go poke it, like really fast. We're gonna ruin it with our finger, remember? So you're like, oh, it doesn't look like a wave. We haven't played with the texture yet. So I just now a big blob, because it's the start again. Blobule, huge amount. Oh, that's a gigantic boogie. Luckily, it's gonna be behind my grass. And then blop, 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 blop. And then I ran out. And then another big blob, big wave, top of a wave, splash. And then it starts to run out. And then it came nothing, but I don't care. And then I get more paint, scoop, splash, big, small. It's a texture thing. So if it's basically, this is all I do, but I'm gonna use my finger. What if you have the big giant hot dog finger? Maybe just do it really, really gently, and don't go and put a bunch of big giant circles on your. So you just go tap, tap, tap. What if you have fingernails, right? Pinky works good because she's easier to lay flat. Does that make sense? I can go like this with her, right? And trying to keep my other fingers out of the way, and I can go whatever works for you. If you have nails, right, it's just a thing. But I don't have nails because I don't care. So I just go boop, 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 and I just want to ruin it a little bit, and I'm just and the paint basically stays where I told it to. But I'm just the perfectly round dots that I put. I just want to ruin the texture a little. I'm doing it softly, as soft as I can. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, big smash! I picked up a whole bunch of paint right there because it was a big boogie, a big blob. But I don't care because that's a splash. And then as it gets really, really dry, it makes a misty texture, and I like it. Looks like mist. And I give it permission to be really thin paint, because a thin paint looks like mist. Oh, I just did 2 circles. Told you, hot dog fingers. Okay, let me go back over it. Tap, 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 tap. There, I made mist. I didn't do that up close for you guys. I'm sorry. So I go. Tap, 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 and just mushing it in. And wherever it's thick, it'll be the most white. Wherever it's thin, it'll be the thin see-through. So it almost turns blue. Because remember how that white paint will turn see-through all by herself when she dries? So I give her permission to be super thick and super thin. Actually, my mistake is my favorite part right there, because I made two big circles right there, so I had to touch it a whole bunch to try to tell it to calm down, and I made mist because it's completely see-through dry paint, and it made mist. It's my new favorite spot. And then of course what I do over here in the wave, 3 matching waves. Human brain, I tried not to, I was supposed to be following the parallel line of the shore, but did I? No. They're exactly the same width apart and same width oh my gosh. I don't have nature's brain. Nature never does a pattern. It does a variation, right? So that's why we get a Fibonacci sequence, right? It's a variation of something, but never an exact copy. Even a twin is never an exact copy. It's a variation of the same thing. So yours should look like yours, and it shouldn't look like mine. Because if I wrote my letter A and you wrote a letter A, we'd both know they were letter A's that don't match, right? They're like the A's, but mine is different because that's my style. So some people do theirs heavy-handed, lots of paint, perfectly good style. Some people are extra delicate. That's a style. They're all legit. So it should be a variation of mine, not a matchy-match. It's ish. So who likes their splash? It's pretty cool, right? So you want to do another one? Because this one needs to splash to the shore. But I bet you don't even need my help. How come? Did this one, human brain. Once a human brain does something, it evaluates, adjusts, and does it better. Because that's what we always do. That's why we have to love and forgive ourselves when we're learning something new, because the frustration and confusion must come first. And then we go, oh, I get it, after. So if you want to master your anger, what do you need? A whole bunch of people to make you angry. So the best people to do that for you are siblings. So you have to thank your siblings for making you angry, so that you got to work on your anger. You're lucky. Like, thank you for helping me. Now I'm going to make the next wave. Right? So it's a whole bunch, a little bit, a whole bunch, a little bit, poke, 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 poke. We already did that one, so we know how to do this one. It's like, oh, okay. Poke, 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 and then I run it. Remember I said I didn't put much sand up here? I don't have any contrast. Now I'm disappointed I didn't go back and fix it. I don't have sand against my splash. Whatever. And then blob. Blah, 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 blah. Running out. It's thinner, 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 softer, softer, softer. Disappear. More paint. Big blob. And then lots. Running out. Ran out. Big blob. And then you touch it with your finger. And then when it starts getting really dry on my finger, because it's a thin part, it makes mist. Oh, I'm doing the wrong row. Hello. It's a texture thing. I need to put it up in the water, because I don't have much color in my sand at the top. I'm going to put it more in the water so I have that contrast. Every time I do it, it comes out different every time. And then as you touch it, you're having a sense of wonder, and you're just watching it happen. Like when you're doing it super soft or slowing down or going faster, it changes the texture. It's like, huh, look at that. I almost like it when I accidentally miss and it goes up into the water with a dry paint finger and it makes a little bit of mist. It's like an accident, but I like it. Can you imagine doing this same painting tomorrow and being so much better at it and more confident because you've done it before? Human brain. But the first time we're like, our brain is going, what? Good job. Okay, now we get to make grass. So we need this little paintbrush, but she's covered in white. Can we give her a little pinch and see if she can't make her, and she'll be nice and pointy. I just folded my paintbrush and go, and now she's all clean and super sharp and pointy. Same thing. We don't rub them on our hand like this. Some people do that. It makes their hair stick out. You'll get a brush or something and go in the direction of the paint to try it, and then pull them apart, get the water in between. But never like rub them really hard. All their hair stick out. And then you can put them in boiling water and then try to smooth them again because they're plastic, but they never go smooth again once you tangle the hairs. Just FYI. Okay, now we have this little paintbrush, and I told you in the beginning that I showed you we hold our paintbrush upside down and try to make a grass, right? So why? Because we're gonna pull our paint. If we hold it straight, what will happen? She'll go, huh, right? And then go, I'm the same thickness the whole time, I'm the same thickness the whole time, and come to a stop, we made a fence post. So if we hold our paintbrush upside down and we pull, naturally, because my hand's like this, I go like this, and my hand will, because of gravity, my hand will actually pull away from the painting all by itself, and it will actually let go very gently to the point. It's just a weird thing that your brain will do. So I'm going like this, and I go up, and then my hand pulls away all by itself. But I do not push like a pencil and go straight up, because it will just go like that. And as soon as you do it one time, you'll go, oh, I just did the thing she said, right? Because how long have we been doing pencil? Way too long, right? So we're not doing pencil or upside down paintbrush pulling, but you're going to switch to pencil. And then you go, oh, I did the, Okay, so we got, how many colors of green and yellow do we have? Let's find all of them. And are you sure you don't have the dark green, the one that's the darkest? You don't have that one? It looks like black. Find all your greens. Oh, and I was supposed to go get forest green. Okay, I got the color. I had to go get my big thing. Look at there. And it stinks. This foresty green stinks. It's like a paint fart. Okay, now I have this foresty green color, right? I have bright green, super dark green, this yellowy color, she's called yellow oxide, and then butterscotch color. And we're gonna make grasses out of that. And the dark green is gonna be like a shadow color, a deep shadow color, and then the rest decorate. Because how many color values do you need for 3D? 3. So we need dark grasses, light, and medium. And sometimes you put the dark first and put light on top, but the dark will peek out, and then mix with the light will make medium, and then light will stick. So you'll have 3D just by dragging the light on top of the dark grass you already did. So everything I just said makes no sense because you didn't get to do it, right? So you're like, what? So let's start with our darkest color, our darkest green. And I'm just gonna stab my paintbrush because I have far to go. Let's make them only like to the sand. We'll do some short guys, right? And short, because we'll do the long ones when we feel more confident, right? So I'm gonna get my dark green, stab, upside down paintbrush. And where are they sticking out of the ground? Right where the shadow is. And look at my original painting. Where I land always makes a blobule, right? It looks like a little blob because I started right there. But it also looks like a root, so who cares? So I hold my paintbrush upside down and I just go land and then pull. I made a grass. Upside down paintbrush, pull. Let's do a couple more. How much you want to bet you do the exact same size and perfectly straight? Maybe we could avoid that. Maybe they bend a little bit, or they're a little shorter, or a little taller. So I'm going to stab my dark green. Stab! Just go nearby somewhere. Yikes! Okay, I got a lot. Whatever. But I hold my paintbrush upside down, and then land and pull, and let it bend maybe? Okay. And maybe do one more, like, is grass allowed to touch? Yeah. Like they're in the same ground, right? So I just go, okay, you know why I did that on purpose so it's really close? Because I tend to do them evenly spaced apart in the exact same size, so I'm trying to break the pattern. Duh, right? So we got 3 pieces of grass, right? But didn't it get dry at the top? Dang, right? So now I'm gonna get super bright green, the brightest green, and I'm gonna go right on top of those. So what happens if dark green peeks through? Shadow. And the bright parts? Bright, you know. Oh, where they mix together? Medium. All right. Upside down paintbrush. And just drive my car on the same road, right? And I pull. What if it ends up being taller? So. Ooh, that one's perfectly straight. That's probably not real life. It's a little soldier. And then could I get some more and do the other ones? And just land and pull. Do I have to do it very hard? It's already wet, so it's slippery. So I can do it softly. Let me do it up close. I'm sorry. I forget. So I could go like this and go, what? It's all dark. And I put my paintbrush right on it and just pull gently right on top. And then I got dark pieces that peek through and then light pieces. And the dark pieces will turn very dark when it's dry. The light pieces will lighten. I give them permission to do that, and they kind of stripe each other like this, like what? Kind of like when we did the grass, both colors appear. And then you won't know, like how much paint does a good job? I don't know. How many pieces of grass before you figure that out? I don't know, as many as it takes. So can these be our ugliest grasses since they're our first grasses? You're like, oh, those are dumb. Well, they're our first ones because this is Earth. So that's how it goes. So maybe I'll get some more dark green and then try some more. So, they go like this. So these are the oldest ones. They got tall and they even made seeds, right? And then they get the medium, smaller, and then big to small, specks. Does that make sense? Because these are brand new, just born. Right? The farther, because this is their root system, and the farther away they go, right? So I just go, oh, okay. So I'm going to get my dark green and go, well, my paint, there's all this paint on there. If you want your paintbrush pointy again, just give it a pinch. But I actually like it because it makes these swirls. Look, I picked up white from one of the splashes. Let's see what happens. I don't know. It's exciting. So I just go, pook. Let's make another one, and I upside down paintbrush, pull. And I'll go until I run it. Oh, it's still going. I must have got a lot of paint. Hey, it's a little bit straight. My next one will have some curve to it. And then it went better for me because I trusted myself to get more paint. I trusted how hard to push with my paintbrush, but only because I'd done it before, right? Then maybe I'll let I'll maybe have some small ones. Maybe go smaller. Oh, Ben did one. I don't know. I just try one. I'm doing like 3 at a time because I don't want them to dry. I want to be able to decorate them with another color. Some bright green. Ooh, dirty paintbrush. Don't care. Let me drag some. And then sometimes I make my my grass bigger because I went like that over the top of it. So maybe that's what a little bend, a little leaf. I don't know. I don't care. If anyone's looking at that many details and flaws on your painting, they're not your friend and they're not allowed to look at your painting anymore. So stop looking at my painting. Get out. Don't criticize anymore. Upside down paintbrush. It's like saying, oh, you have to weld perfectly on the first day you get there. Impossible. It's going to be ish. But I'll definitely have the idea. Who's letting go really soft at the last second to get a point on it? Is it at first you're like, I can't. Then all of a sudden you let go and you go, I did one. And then your brain will always do it like that. But you have to have your success first. You have to let your brain gently walk up to success. So you just go, oh, okay, got it. How about some more? Just a few more of these. But then, so these will be the tall world, medium world. Can we make some, so I got smaller baby ones. Itty bitty down the side. So I just go, all right. I bet I can make these with, just like several with one scoop of paint. So you just go upside down paintbrush, up, let go. Maybe some bendy ones. Oh, of course, same size and equally spaced apart. Eye roll. They're exactly a fingerprint apart. Human. And there's some baby one, and then a baby one, and maybe I'll just on purpose put some close together and best friends. There. Oh wait, that just looks like V's. Okay. Oh, there's a big space right there. I'm gonna put another one. Okay, there. Now can I decorate those with some bright green? Are we gonna do all the colors of green? Yeah, this is just for learning. That's why I'm going so slow. But eventually you go on your own. So now I get bright green. Oh, let me decorate it. Let me just go a flick on that one and that one. A little something here, a little something for you. Woo, long, short, medium, short. Ooh, that's a big blue. Ooh, my green is drying, so it's all sticky. Okay, look at my painting. They're all the same space apart. What is wrong with me? Human brain. Right? So then when we start doing this and we're adding more and more and more of them, we're just going to try to break the human tendency and put them on top of each other on purpose, right? So we'll just let it be for now. Whatever. Ooh, how about a different set of colors? How about forest green and yellow, right? So it's my foresty green and maybe some yellow on it. Ooh, my paintbrush is dirty though. I'm gonna clean it. It's got that green on it. And we can even add white on them. What? I know. The light glinted off them. I don't know. So I get the foresty green. Let's go. How about a nice tall one? Upside down paintbrush. Oh, she's a thinner paint. She actually went nicer farther. And there. Ooh, I went up into the water. And, oh, medium. They get smaller. Down the side, smaller. small. I'm trying to break up the pattern and on purpose put some in between without making them evenly spaced apart again. I just made 5 really fast. One there, I don't know, one there. I don't care. I'm pulling. Just decorating. And then what if we put this yellow oxide on it, right? And I go, well, I'm gonna get, oh, there's a skin on it because the fan was blowing on mine. But my little office gets hot. So now I'm gonna put, because look at how it's this forest green. Once I put it on there, she looks a little see-through. I can see right through her, so that can't be real life. But you know who isn't see-through, isn't transparent? This yellow oxide. So if I, ooh, and if I land on the same blob on the bottom and pull on it, it'll make a new color as it streaks. So I land on it and I'm gonna pull this blob of the green with it, and the yellow and the green stripe each other. Like, what? Right? Can you see it? The green and the yellow, and I did not go, what if I went over it again? I would probably just make a green. That would be so boring. So I give them permission to be stripes of it themselves. So they're visiting each other, but not smushed together, right? Well, could I decorate any of my grasses with this yellow? Yes. Could I put it on the dark green too? Sure. I just go, all right, I'm just gonna see what it looks like. Oh, it literally made a new color. What? Made it fatter there because I think I was I'm holding it like a pencil. Oh. All the things I tell you about is because I do them. Upside down paintbrush, I have to remind myself, and pull. Because we've been penciling since we were little. Teacher bark at us. Hold it like this. Changes. Ooh, interesting. Okay, now I'm going to look at my pattern and make sure they're not the same height or spaced apart exactly the same. Humanness. Crazy humanness. How about if we do bright green ones with yellow? Just to see. So I make some more upside down paintbrush. Right, bright green. Okay, now I'm gonna actually let them cross over and touch each other. I land. Oh my gosh, you just went on top of that grass. Is that bad? No. Ooh, and that one bent like an elbow. It's the grass. I don't care. So, and then, and I just pull right across, because this one, why? This one's in front of those. I'm holding it like a pencil again. It got fat at the top, and I realized what I did. All of a sudden, right? Stop it, brain. What? Upside down paintbrush. Pull, pull, pull. Let go. Let go. Bing. Okay, now I'm gonna decorate them with some yellow. Go and find some and decorate them. Decorate them. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. You have to watch out also for making a color pattern. I am putting tons of yellow on this right now. I'm like, am I gonna make it just all one color? That would be boring. How about the butterscotch color? What if you put butterscotch color on some of them? Maybe if I make new ones with butterscotch. What? It looks like dried grass. Pull. There. Pull, pull. Okay, oh, I'm breaking up the pattern on purpose now. I'm actually looking for areas that I could fill in with more pieces of grass. There. And you. Look at these two. I made a W. Have to put something in there and break up that pattern. There. What if I put white on it? Could I put white on some of them? Huh. I'm just gonna see. Will it brighten them? Oh, I don't love it. It's super bright. I'll try another one and see if it comes out better. And upside down paintbrush. I don't think I love it. But I definitely have better contrast now with that bright one. We're experimenting. Feels good about theirs. What about who goes in front of that little patch? So we did these. Then what about these? Can I put some here, like, but they get tall and they're going to touch the other grass. This one's in front, so she has to be in front and touching. It's what makes depth. So I can't make them short because it looks like somebody trimmed them with scissors. So I have to make them long enough so they're in front of these ones. So let me get some dark green. And go, okay. So longy one, tall ones, shorter, smaller, smaller, smaller speck. Oh, evenly spaced apart, of course. You know what else I didn't do? I did not make sure my grass was touching my shadow. I had a little space between my shadow and my grass. Does anyone have that? I have to make sure it's coming out of the shadow. I have to go down here and pull some of these up. Like, there's a space. There's a space right there. Okay, I fixed it. Right here too. Okay. There. And then maybe some foresty green ones. Because those are all evenly. And then these are going to be in front. Oh, get out of my way. Get out of my way. Boom, boom. Putting way too many. I don't care. Pew, pew, upside down paintbrush. I'm going to put yellow on those. No, no. I didn't put any bright green. Bright green. Decorate, decorate, decorate. Pew, pew. Little baby ones on the ends. Pew, pew, pew. I'm in front. Boom. I'm in front. Get out of my way. Pew, pew. And I can already tell what's wrong with the front ones. They're jealous. They didn't get any yellow. When I look at these, I'm like, the yellow and the butterscotch looks good, right? But then they did this green, just the greens by themselves isn't as interesting. We need some, what's 3D? Dark, medium, light. So I need some light, I need some yellow. Upside down paintbrush, pew, pew, pew. Oh, look at my yellow, evenly spaced apart. It's something I struggle with, so I just figure other humans have brains like mine, and that's just something you have to watch out for, is making repeating pattern. Question? Anyone? No?
I don't know what to do at all.
Okay, shoot. Who's saying that? Who's saying that? Wave if you're saying that, because I can't see you.
I think it was an accident.
Oh, it was an accident. Okay, because I thought you were
Yes, that was an accident. Sorry,
Okay.
it's my daughter.
crying for help. I'm coming. Oh, okay. That's that exasperated sound of, oh no. So you guys want to see how to make a tall one? So if you're busy, just push pause because I know you could decorate all day. But I want to show you a really long one. Look how high up they go. I'm going to break into the sky, right? Break into the sky, and there's a whole bunch of them, and they're tall, medium, and small ones, okay? So upside down paintbrush. I'm gonna go all the way to the sky. I might have to paint it twice. Remember how you run out of paint halfway? Always. Upside down paintbrush. Not perfectly straight. I'm rooting for her to be a little crookedy. I use the foresty green color. You know why? Because I think she's the thinnest and she works the best. My foresty green. And then I'm gonna put bright green on it and just drag it right on top. See if I can make some more there so that they're maybe they cross each other. Ooh, what if I start on the bottom and let them bump into each other? What? That's very grass-like. Or maybe, and there's a big space right here. Maybe I'll just break up the water by putting a little piece of grass right there. Ooh, I almost did pencil. Whew, that was close. And then maybe one here.
Tristan, I think you got a little paint on the tip of your nose.
It's a paint fight. Ooh, look at your grasses. Neato. Remember, push up with your paintbrush. Don't pull back down. Let me show you about pulling down. Watch. If I do this one right here and I start at the top, my paintbrush opens. And then I pull down, she gets really thick. Okay? So we don't pull down. Your paintbrush will open. You can only pull up, let go. And what about when you decorate it? You can only go up and decorate it. You cannot go down. It'll go open huge fence post. So watch out for that. Just go up only. No, don't pull back down the other way. Because once I go the other way, my paintbrush opens. It goes. Remember how when we land, our paintbrush opens at the bottom. And then we pull up and she gets thinner. Up only. I'm going to put some white on one. I want to see what it looks like. So you don't have to. Okay, don't love it. Maybe, I don't know. Definitely gets brighter. White pieces. Because I keep thinking dark, medium, light. And if I put some light pieces, it gets brighter. Okay, you guys want to see how to make the, everybody push pause, even if you're busy. I want to show you how to make those leafy things, right? So here's the branch, right? And then just the tip of your paintbrush, like a dash. And I just go dash, 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 dash. Saw tinier, softer, softer. It always gets small at the top, right? That's not dark enough. Let me do it so you can see. So I go flick, flick, dash, 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 dash. It's like tiny grasses and then tiny flick, tinier, tinier. Because everything always, like your arm, goes from thick to smaller, 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 right? So that nature always does that. Big things to little things. So I can get my dark green and go flick. Oh, it just dropped a piece of paint. Flick, I'll just add it. Flick, 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 tiny, tiny, tiny. Flick, 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 little tiny pieces. This is where the seeds come out. Not all of them need to have seeds. And then I could put some bright green on those. How come I can't just have one color? Boring. So if I make it dark, I go back over it with bright. see what happens. Flick, flick, scratch, 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 scratch. Now I'm doing this so soft I could barely feel it. I'm scratch, 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 scratch. Oh, out of paint. Nothing happened. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Oops! I did the pencil thing. I just made a big fat grass. Let me decorate it softer. Upside down paintbrush. Make it smaller like that. Pew, 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 pew. I want some more dark green ones. Now that it's starting to dry, I like the contrast. Put some dark green pieces in there. Go back over it and say, okay, I think I painted over all my dark green because what colors am I supposed to have? Dark, medium, and light. I think I painted over all my dark ones. I'm gonna add some more. Maybe just a few dark green grasses. Because I was falling in love with yellow and I was making everything yellow. But that's not 3D. I'm gonna put some more dark green ones like there, a little piece there, and there. Now it's more dark, medium, light. Dark pieces, medium pieces, light pieces. There. What I just do, I pulled down on my grass. I just made that one really fat because I pulled down on it because I was decorating. See? And this one, I did it too. Let me try to make this one another piece of grass. I'm making a mistake. I'll just make my grass longer over here. This is also what happens when you play with your painting too much. Whoa! Grass. Add some yellows to that. So, because I just made a little green area, she is lonely. Yellow, 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 yellow. There. Dark pieces, medium pieces, light pieces. Nobody's perfectly straight. They're bending in different directions. Upside down paintbrush. And my grass is definitely coming out of my blue shed. Even if I have to go back and just touch my shadow and go, add a piece, add a piece, add another piece, fill it in. Little tiny baby ones. I love seeing your paintings. How many grasses have you done so far? And how is your brain now? Is it starting to like, oh, I get it, and we transition from frustrated to wondrous and just watching it happen, right? We're like, at first we're like, these are ugly, and then we're like, oh, and then stare at it and look for color contrast. Do I have dark pieces, medium pieces, and light pieces? I changed my mind about the white. Didn't love it, but I thought I could try. But I also put the white on the yellow, thinking I would make a brighter yellow. I didn't love it. And do you have pointy tops? Look how fast you learn that. Look what a good brain you have. And we didn't even practice that, and your brain just went naturally being able to make pointy tops. Touch. It was the softness of your touch the last second, and you were able to do that. Just not from my explanation. Your own hand did it, and you were constantly while you painted, and that's learning, right? It's not at all ever, it never has anything to do with the teacher. It has to do with your process as you're learning and you're making adjustments, right? You're like, what? I don't get it. What's they saying? And then the more you do it, the more you understand it. They could talk for 8 hours and it won't make you understand it anymore. But the hardest thing for a teacher to do is to try to get you to do something with information. That's why they do those fill in the blank worksheets. How do you do history? Right? Math, you could just solve it, but I want you to learn history, so we're going to do something with the information to make you remember. It's what? So hard. Because doing is learning, listening is not. That's why all adults in the TV age are slightly dumb, because we all listen to TV and watch nature shows and science shows and think we know. And then we repeat it to other people like we know it, and all we did was watch TV. Do you actually know that? Did you what? Or did you just hear it? We heard it. Same diff, right? Sort of. You guys did a really good job. Looks great. Who thinks they can make